I know what you're thinking. As you watch this intro of SmackDown Live review tonight, I know exactly what's on your mind. Who in the blue fuck is that lookalike of Eric Rowan? Hell, in my honest opinion, that guy right there looks like Eric Rowan's father, if you ask me. Or his long-lost twin brother, if you ask me. Who the fuck, who in the blue hell is this guy that we got towards the end of SmackDown Live tonight? Who the fuck is he? We all got trolled tonight, folks. We all got trolled. If you guys legitimately think that this is the attacker of Roman Reigns, you have a fucking brain problem. You're not using your brain. You're not opening your eyes right. Is this the legitimate person who attacked Roman Reigns? No. No. I think this is just a troll to piss off Roman Reigns. And then we get a Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan match at Clash of Champions. Bet money that happens. I bet everyone money that happens. Probably we find out who attacked Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions. We probably find out who. Or I bet you money we find out who was going to be Roman Reigns' attacker on the Go Home show before Clash of Champions as SmackDown in, I guess, in 2 weeks. They go to Madison Square Garden. You know they are going to want to load up that show in the Garden. They are going to want to load up that show as much as possible. Going into Clash of Champions on Sunday. Guarantee you. If you was to ask me how SmackDown Live was tonight, first hour of SmackDown Live was a really good show. First hour. Especially on the first hour. SmackDown Live kicked off with Randy Orton. He got his shit in. Good. I fucking love it. Good. Then we got a match between Andrade and Apollo. The match was good. The match was really, really good. Although I picked the right man to win, Andrade won here. The right man won that match, obviously. Good for Andrade. The first hour of SmackDown Live was pretty good. I can't say the same thing for the second hour of SmackDown. The second hour of SmackDown Live was completely fucking boring. To a point where during the Revival Heavy Machinery match, I almost fell asleep. Yeah, this is the same exact company that's going to have NXT on the USA Network on September 18th for 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the death, the funeral of NXT. No cap. If you guys want to check out my NXT rant last night, go ahead and check out Raw Review. Link to that video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. It's there. Just know it's right over there. There you go. I don't know what else to say about SmackDown Live tonight. I don't know what else to say tonight. I mean, after what happened in the end, after KO and Elias, you guys knew what was gonna happen. You guys knew what was gonna happen. I even said it. If Shane McMahon gets involved with KO losing in the King of the Ring tournament, I'm done. And guess what? I'm going to live up to it. I am done with this tournament. I had KO all the way in the finals. Now, I don't care. They have used this King of the Ring tournament to get KO and Shane McMahon's feud to continue. I don't care. Like, what else do you want me to say about the show tonight? Especially on the second hour. I don't care. The first hour, I loved. Second hour, don't care. This was nothing but a decent episode of SmackDown Live tonight. Nothing but decent. Decent, at best. Not average, just decent. Raw last night was decent. It had its moments, and it had its negatives. SmackDown tonight, same thing. Had its positives, had its negatives. The only negative to the show tonight was the KO Elias match and the ending of SmackDown Live tonight that we got with just a minute and a half left of the show to go. I don't know what else do you guys want me to say about SmackDown tonight. I don't know. I'm still here depressed about NXT being moved to the USA Network. I'm still depressed about it. I still am. All I did today was wake up, brush my teeth, ate some fucking lunch, went to the fucking gym, worked out on my fucking arms and stuff, came back home, watched SmackDown Live, and then from there, right now, I'm giving you guys a review right now on the channel. So by default, this video already deserves a thumbs up. Already. I had KO and Drew McIntyre in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. That's not happening now. Because KO wants to be a fucking idiot, focus on Shane McMahon while you have a fucking tournament to win. KO, and we'll talk about this during the ending of SmackDown tonight. KO looked like a complete fucking idiot on this show tonight. An idiot. A complete fucking idiot. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on this Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys thought that SmackDown Live was a pretty decent show tonight, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below what you guys thought of the show tonight. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. NXT review for this past Wednesday, live on the channel right now, episodes 49, 50, and 51 of the podcast, live on the channel right now, and as well as Monday Night Raw review from last night. All these videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are connecting with your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Lawrence. Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Monday, we do Raw review here on the channel. Tuesday, SmackDown Live review. Wednesday, NXT review. Thursday, episode of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel Road to Glory. And I promise you guys will get episode 4 on Thursday. I already have it recorded. So there you guys go. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you guys get episodes of the Reality Podcast right here on the channel. So let's begin SmackDown Live review tonight from Silhouette Falls, South Dakota, here on SmackDown Live. We begin SmackDown Live tonight with Randy Orton. Comes out to start the show while the announcers run down the night's upcoming events. The events of Orton and the Revival's beatdown of the New Day is recapped from last night. Xavier Woods is not medically cleared to be in attendance tonight. Orton begins by calling Kofi Kingston stupid. Kofi Kingston's title reign is stupid. Orton bragged about making Kofi watch the destruction of Xavier's leg. Orton declares Kofi to be a failure and will prove it again. New Day music comes on, and Kofi from behind with the Trouble in Paradise. Kofi grabs a chair from ringside and wraps Orton's ankle in it. Kofi with slaps to Orton's face. The Revival come in for the save. Kofi fights them both off, but Orton escapes. Kingston fires up as Orton and the Revival run for cover. This was a good segment. This was a great opening segment to kick off SmackDown Live. Good. That's exactly what you needed to do after what everybody on social media is talking about Orton and the Revival possibly forming up as a stable in WWE. I would love for Orton and the Revival to be a stable in World Wrestling Entertainment. I would love it. Especially with Orton's old school mentality, with the Revival's old school mentality. I think this would be a great recipe for a stable. I think it will. Now, what I saw last night, and I saw it, and we saw it again, obviously, on SmackDown Live tonight. Orton, Dash Wilder, and Scott Dawson, they, after what they did to Kofi and Xavier Woods last night, that just made me look back at Legacy. You know, with Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase Jr. and Ted DiBiase as well. Remember that stable Legacy that took over Raw from 2009? That took over Raw. That was the best stable that whole entire year. Orton, Rhodes, and DiBiase. Fantastic stable. One of my favorite stables of all time. One of my favorite stables ever. Ever. We saw Raw last night. We saw Xavier Woods got his leg broken. Stuff like that. It really made me think back to what Orton, DiBiase, and Rose did back at Legacy. Fantastic shit. That was a fantastic stable. Fantastic stable. If they was to make this stable, I think they should get a fourth person. I think they should get a fourth person into this. Maybe Andrade. I would love to see Orton, Andrade, and the Revival. I would love that. I would love that. Or what other heel you can do? If they can do a woman, maybe they can do Sasha Banks. Maybe Sasha Banks as a heel there, or maybe even better. Maybe even better. Now this is just a long shot here. This is just a fucking long shot here. What about Bayley? If Bayley turns heel, I don't know. This is just random things going on in my head right now. But I think if Orton and the Revival are an official stable, I think they need either a fourth guy or a woman in that stable. I think that would be a fantastic stable. I think it would. And what would you guys call that stable with Orton and the Revival and their fourth person? Leave it down below in the comment section. What would you call Orton and the Revival stable? I can't come up with a name yet, but when I come up with a name, I'll give it to you guys either on the podcast or probably next Tuesday or next Monday on Raw or SmackDown Live Review. But this opening segment was great. Great segment there. I think this is going to bleed to Orton and Kofi at Clash of Champions again. And maybe we'll get the Revival against, I guess against Big E. Or unless if Kofi goes out of back-to-back nights. Unless if Kofi goes 2 matches in one night. Because Xavier can't go. After what happened to him on Raw last night, he can't compete at fucking Clash of Champions. He can't. Unless if he's cleared by Clash of Champions, then he'll be able to defend the tag team titles. But again, you just gotta ask. You're putting the Revival, a Raw tag team, going up against the New Day, a SmackDown tag team, for the SmackDown tag team titles. It's already predictable. It's already predictable. Oh, and by the way, I tweeted this on Twitter earlier. The Revival, they look a whole lot better on SmackDown than they do on Raw. Their entire main roster call-up, they have looked a whole lot better on this show tonight on SmackDown Live than they ever did on Monday Night Raw. Factual. Complete facts. Complete facts. I think Orton and the Revival, they should have a stable. I think they should. It'll be a fantastic stable. I think it will be really, really good. Orton as the leader, and then we get probably one more guy plus the Revival. I think Orton being a leader of that stable, I think Orton putting the Revival under his wing is probably going to be the best thing the Revival has ever done. Let me tell you, Orton and the Revival, they look really good together. They look really, really good together. They really do. They blend off of each other so well. It's as if they've been doing it for a long time. I wouldn't mind the stable. I wouldn't really mind the stable whatsoever. But this opening segment was really, really good. Really good. The announcer discussed the attacks on Roman Reigns and whether Daniel Bryan will keep his promise to reveal the attacker. A full video recap. If the events of the last 2 weeks are shown, we go to the ring for our first match, which is Andrade with Zelina Vega versus Apollo Crews in the first round of their King of the Ring tournament. This match was good. Apollo Crews looked really good in this match. She looked really, really good. And like I said this time and time again about Andrade. He looks really good. With him and Zelina Vega as his mouthpiece, fantastic stuff. When I see Andrade in the ring, and I said this on Twitter, I said this on a podcast multiple times. When you look at Andrade, you look at Eddie Guerrero. You see Eddie Guerrero in Andrade. You really do. You really do. Now, before the match, we go to Shane McMahon warning Kevin Owens on to behave himself. Owens tells him he's not going to make things worse and just wants to reconsider his King of the Ring match. He really wants to concentrate on his King of the Ring match. I apologize there. Owens seemed kind of creep and asked Shane to understand the consequences of a $100,000 fine and asked Shane to reconsider. Shane says he'll take it under consideration. with this alone, you had a match between KO and Shane at SummerSlam. You had a match between KO and Shane at SummerSlam. With this segment alone makes KO look weak in this segment. Because why would you fuck up Shane at SummerSlam only to come back 2 weeks later? And the fact that KO touched an official, which is Elias, he's not really an official, but still. The fact that Shane fined KO $100K is just ridiculous. Now, I understand that the fact that KO and Shane fought at SummerSlam only for 2 weeks later, you really want to look weak to Shane McMahon by kissing his ass and reconsider his fine? Makes him look weak at the end of the day. It really does. It makes him look weak. Announcers team to be hyping Crews heavily. Yeah, okay. So Crews comes out of the gate with a running clothesline. Crews misses a charge into the corner. Andrade with a double knee drive for a 2 count. Inside cradle by Crews for a 2 count. Andrade works into the ropes and applies an armbar. Andrade off the top rope into a high drop kick from Crews. Action spills to the outside and hits a Hurricane Rana into the steps as we go to commercial. I love how they did the fucking picture-by-picture thing. While they have the match on one corner, they have the commercial on the other big screen there. I love that. Why don't Raw do that? Raw does a picture-by-picture thing while we can see the matchup while we still see the commercial breaks. I wouldn't mind that. I love stuff like that. SmackDown does it. How come Raw doesn't do that? We go back for commercial break. Back and forth punches. Pump kick by Apollo. Olympic slam by Crews for a 2 count. Crews charges the corner and is hit by a drop kick. Andrade with a drop toe hold into the corner. Crews avoids the double knee into the corner. Pump kick and insecurity by Apollo into a standing moonsault for a 2 count. I love that about Apollo Crews. He's so athletic. He is so athletic. Crowd is giving us an ovation. Can't blame them. Back elbow by Andrade after distraction by Vega. Andrade hits a Hemlock DDT and gets the victory. Andrade will move on to the King of the Ring tournament, as I think he'll face the winner of, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in the second round of the King of the Ring tournament. His match was good. Both men got the shit in. I mean, it was obvious that Andrade was going to win here over a VIP Titus catering person in Apollo Crews. So, there you go. You got to make Andrade look strong in this tournament. So far, he looks pretty good. So, Andrade moves on to the King of the Ring tournament. So, I'm guessing Ali and Buddy Murphy and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin will fight next week on SmackDown Live to conclude the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. Daniel Bryan and Rowan have a suspect covered in a black hood. People were saying on Twitter, people were telling me on Twitter it's Luke Harper. People were legitimately telling me on Twitter it's Luke Harper. People were even saying it was Tommaso Ciampa. Are you fucking serious? Tommaso Ciampa has something to do with Roman Reigns? Stop your garbage, please. Stop your garbage. Bryan mocks the suspect. Bryan threatens him if he moves from the room. Elias is walking in the back, strumming his guitar. He finds the referee and makes the ref point out where he is. He, quote unquote, he is. Elias opens a storage container to reveal Drake Maverick. Elias has a note from Shane declaring the 24/7 rule is suspended for the night, so Elias can concentrate on his match with Kevin Owens later tonight. Maverick, meanwhile, says he just wants to consummate the marriage as we go to commercial. You still haven't consummated the marriage, bro. If I was to fucking date somebody like Renee Michelle, I would have consummated the marriage right there and then. Drake, you just 24/7 championship is garbage. Keep it on social media. Stay away from live television. It's just that simple. It's time for a moment of a moment of bliss. I apologize there. With special guest Charlotte Flair. Alexa and Nikki are out together. Alexa brags about their success, and the two strike a pose to welcome Charlotte into the show. I tweeted this on Twitter, and a lot of people were laughing at this. Charlotte Flair, where she was doing this, and she was turning around, like circling around. She looked like one of those girls from the White Chicks. You know how like those two guys that were freaking FBI cops and stuff, and they were trying to do an investigation and shit, and they had to dress up as girls? Charlotte Flair looked exactly like one of those girls. No cap. No cap. No cap. Interesting to note that none of the women are dressed in ring gear. Charlotte wants to sit on the King of the Ring throne. Bliss opens by asking if her victory over Trish Stratus was a passing of the torch. Charlotte says she took the torch. Nothing was passed. Alexa says about Bayley and her status as champion. Obviously, the second Alexa brought up Bayley, we already knew it was confirmed that Charlotte and Bayley was going to compete for the Raw Women's Championship at Clash of Champions. Already, the second Alexa mentioned Bayley in the same fucking stage as Charlotte Flair, I already knew Charlotte is bound to be a 10-time women's champion by Clash of Champions. And do you think for one second, and I said this back on the podcast, I believe this past weekend, do you believe for one second that Charlotte Flair is going to lose a match against Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship in Flair country? You do know that Clash of Champions is at Flair country in Charlotte, North Carolina. Do you think for one second that Charlotte is going to lose that match against Bayley at Clash of Champions? The answer to that question is an emphatic no. The match has already been confirmed, folks. Start counting down the days of Bayley being SmackDown Women's Champion, because Charlotte is clearly going to be the next SmackDown Women's Champion as SmackDown moves to Fox in October. And they want to have the Queen as their champion going in the Fox in the Staples Center on their first show on Fox. Agenda, folks. Blonde hair, long legs, and big tits. I said this on the podcast last weekend. Not this past weekend, the other past weekend. You take NXT Charlotte Flair and you put her on the main roster. Does she become a 9-time women's champion? No. No. The answer to that question is no. Same thing with Alexa Bliss. You take NXT Alexa Bliss and you put her on the main roster. Does she get over? No. 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 Moving on here. Charlotte says Bayley may be champion, but the Queen is a brand. She brags that it's her, not Bayley, that goes to red carpet events and is the face of WWE. Charlotte, the only reason why you're the face of the women's division is because of how you look. Blonde hair, long legs, and big tits. You cannot tell me otherwise, Miss Flair. You cannot tell me otherwise. Out comes Bayley and says that at the end of the day, she is champion, which makes her the best, and she knows that eats Charlotte alive. Charlotte brags that she's the one all the WWE Universe is talking about and challenges Bayley to a match at Clash of Champions, which Bayley gladly accepts by shoving Charlotte off of her stool. Charlotte appears shaken as we go backstage to Buddy Murphy. This segment was completely fucking boring. Boring. Same shit every time with these Alexa Bliss shows. Who cares about a moment of bliss? Who gives a shit? If you are a fan of Alexa Bliss, you are a sick individual. Sick individual. Roman Reigns comes in to confront Buddy Murphy and wants to talk man to man. Buddy tells him that he's pretty sure he saw Rowan at the backstage area when Roman was attacked. Roman with threats if he finds out Murphy is lying again. Roman with threats. Roman threatens Murphy if he finds out Murphy is lying again. This is nothing but a Law and Order investigation that you see on the USA Network or sometimes on ION TV with cable TV. You got a match between Buddy Murphy and Daniel Bryan. This match was great. Buddy Murphy and Daniel Bryan, the match was fantastic. The match was fucking fantastic. Both men got their shit in. This match was the best show of the entire night. Could be the best show of the entire week. Could be the best show of the entire week. No lie. Daniel Bryan made Buddy Murphy look really good in this matchup. Looked really good. And Buddy Murphy, he's a star, folks. After what happened last week, I seen that match between Buddy Murphy and Roman Reigns last week. Those two men nearly killed each other last week. Daniel Bryan and Buddy Murphy tonight, this match was great. This match was great. But was Murphy and Bryan better than Murphy and Roman last week? I don't know. I don't know. It's up there. Well, it's up there, but Murphy picks up a victory over Daniel Bryan. Murphy is taking a beating, but reverses an attack into the running powerbomb for a 2 count. Back and forth punches, kicks by Murphy, uppercut by Bryan. Murphy with a backslap for a 2 count and a brain buster, but Bryan gets his foot on the bottom rope for a 2 count. Rowan hits the apron, kicked off by Murphy. Murphy with a knee, with a striking knee. I think he had a V trigger. Murphy with the V trigger and Murphy's Law for the 3 count. This match was great. This was a great, great match. This was a fantastic match. Buddy Murphy is a superstar now, folks, on SmackDown Live. Does he beat Ali in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament next week? I don't know. But I did predict Buddy Murphy to beat Ali next week because they got nothing going on. They got nothing going on for Ali. Nothing going on. They got Buddy Murphy here, who's a legit superstar on SmackDown Live. So Buddy Murphy picks up a victory over Daniel Bryan in a great matchup. We go back and see Bryan's black-clad suspect. Otunga reveals that a lawyer friend of his told him Daniel Bryan hired a forensic expert to investigate. Then we get a post-match interview with Murphy leads to an attack by Rowan and Bryan. Rowan with a choke slam onto a trunk, on a production trunk. We get a recap of Kofi's attack on the Revival with Sean Dawson, cuts a promo on the New Day calling them cowards and decidedly not championship material. Wilder talks about Xavier not being able to walk. The Revival challenge the New Day for a title match at Clash of Champions. Whatever happened to earning a title shot? I just want to know. Since when you just throw away title matches? Since when you just put away title matches? Last time I checked, the champions are supposed to challenge the challengers, not the challengers challenging the champions. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to the champion going to the challenger and asking for an opportunity? Or just giving them an opportunity? I mean, sometimes you can have the challenger ask the champion for a match, but sometimes also the champion can ask for the challenger. It's just that it's been happening a lot, especially on Raw and SmackDown. For example, the OC. I mean, for example, Seth Rollins did fucking Braun Strowman on Raw last night. They asked for a fucking Raw tag team title match. They're not even a legit tag team. They're not even a legit tag team yet. They won the titles last night on fucking Monday Night Raw. I wonder how that's going to go after that. I wonder how that's going to go after that. This is going to be predictable. If this is confirmed between the Revival and the New Day at Clash of Champions for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, it's already predictable. It's already predictable. The Revival are a Raw tag team. Why is a Raw tag team competing for a SmackDown Tag Team titles? It's like this company has no identity. It's like these shows have no identity. They have to kill the wild card rule immediately. Whatever happened to the rumor that was happening about, that they was going to kill the wild card rule after SummerSlam? Whatever happened to that? Clearly, it's still in effect because the Revival now is on fucking SmackDown Live. Fucking challenging these SmackDown Tag Team Champions to a match at Clash of Champions. How much sense does that make? Only for them to lose to New Day probably at Clash of Champions. I don't know, folks. Am I losing my mind here? Please, am I losing my fucking mind? Am I just losing my goddamn mind? We get the Revival versus Heavy Machinery. This match was okay for what it was, but at the same time, boring. The match was just boring. It was okay for what it was. It was okay for what it was, but it was just boring. Finally, we get to see Heavy Machinery on SmackDown Live tonight. Finally. But they lose to the Revival here. Wilder with a hair pull to keep Tucker away from Otis. Tagged by the Revival, and Dawson misses an elbow up the top. Wilder tries to cut the corner, but Otis with a hot tag. Otis with a clothesline. Otis with a caterpillar. Broken up by Wilder. Tucker tags in and hits the senton immediately rolled up for the pin. The Revival win. The Revival wins. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Chad Gable with a backstage interview. Shelton Benjamin in the background putting up a sign making fun of Gable's height. 20 minutes of time before we find Shorty G there for Chad Gable. Black class suspect still being held captive backstage. Miz comes out in a three-piece suit for Miz TV. Now, I did not watch Miz TV, so I'm not going to go through it because, A, I don't care. What I did hear is that Zayn and Nakamura are all of a sudden together. Again, Sami Zayn on SmackDown Live when he has nothing to do with SmackDown Live. Yet Zayn and Nakamura left together. A Raw guy and a SmackDown guy leaving together. Kill the wild card rule immediately. As soon as possible. I'm not going to go over Miz TV because A, I don't care about the Miz. B, nobody cares about Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. No one cares. All I know is Zayn was talking to Miz. Miz talks shit to Zayn. Nakamura comes out. Zayn and Nakamura together. Nakamura delivers a Kinshasa to the Miz. And then they walk out together. Don't care. Daniel Bryan and Rowan returned to the suspect. They told the suspect they've summoned Rowan. Or should I say Roman. The suspect seems pretty calm. Shane McMahon and KO back in the locker room. Shane demands an apology and Kevin gives him one. Actually seem contrary. Shane is considering dropping the fine. Shane tells him if he ever hits an official again, he is fired. We get KO versus Elias in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. Right when this match happened, this match started, Shane McMahon came out and went straight to commercial. By the time they came back to commercial, at 9:55 p.m., Elias is giving KO a headlock. At 9:55 p.m. Shows you how much this match really does suck. This match is terrible. The match is terrible, Loki. The match is terrible. Elias comes a pop-up powerbomb and uses a spin-out powerbomb. Elias traps Owens in the corner and tries to set up a superplex. Owens knows him off. Senton off the top, met by knees from Elias to the outside, and Owens with a running cannonball. Shane gets between them and reveals that he's wearing a referee shirt. From behind, Elias rolls up KO and Shane with a very fast 3 count. KO looked like a bigger fucking idiot than he looked at the beginning of the show. Why is KO concentrating on Shane when you should be concentrating on Elias and winning this King of the Ring tournament. Now, we don't even get KO in the finals of this tournament. KO was a first round exit. Elias beats KO on a fast count by Shane McMahon. I guarantee you, this feud will continue until Hell in a Cell. And KO and Shane are going to fight inside Hell in a Cell. I guarantee you that happens. And we've already seen it already. Shane as the babyface, KO as the heel. Now, the roles are reversed. KO is the babyface, Shane is the heel. I wonder what happens after. This feud has to end immediately. I guarantee you this feud between Shane McMahon and KO is going to end inside Hell in a Cell in October. Guarantee you that happens. Guarantee you. Finally, guys, to end SmackDown Live here, backstage segment, Roman Reigns confronts Bryan. He unmasks the subject, revealing a Roman lookalike. A double Roman stare down Roman as we go to credit as the show goes off the air. That is it. That is it. The match between KO and Elias ended at 9:58 p.m. We had over at least a minute and a half left for the show to end, and they just rushed this whole entire thing. They just rushed it. They just rushed it. Is this the legit attacker for Roman Reigns? No. No. This is not the legit attacker to Roman Reigns. This is not his attacker. People are thinking it's Luke Harper. People are even guessing it's Rusev. I don't know who it could be. I don't know who this could be. I really don't know. They just trolled us in the end of the show. Maybe this will lead to a Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns match at Clash of Champions. Most likely is what's going to go down that route. And maybe at Clash of Champions, we'll probably find out who's the guy who will attack Roman Reigns. We'll probably find out then. I wouldn't be shocked if we get it before Clash of Champions, but I wouldn't be shocked. Actually, I would be shocked if we get this at Clash of Champions. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get it before Clash of Champions. Other than that, this was a decent SmackDown tonight. Decent at best. I'm not going to say it was a great show. I'm not going to say it was a terrible show. It was just decent at best. It had its moments, and it didn't have its moments. Andrade and Apollo had a great matchup. Daniel Bryan and Buddy Murphy was the match of the night until the second hour of SmackDown Live was completely fucking boring. And that, folks, is the reality of things right here on SmackDown Live Review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy SmackDown Live Review, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of SmackDown Live tonight. And also, leave a comment down below. What would you call Orton and the Revival's new stable if it becomes official? What would you call it? What would you call it? And also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below. Turn on those balls, guys, for notifications. NXT Review live on the channel right now. Episodes 49, 50, and 51 of the Reality Podcast live on the channel right now. And also Monday Night Raw Review. All these videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are following me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring. Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn on those balls, guys, for all notifications. Monday, we do Raw Review. Tuesday, SmackDown Live Review. Wednesday, NXT Review. Thursday, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel to Glory, which you guys will get on Thursday, I promise. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you guys get episodes of the Reality Podcast right here on the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT Review. Hopefully, this NXT show tomorrow gives us storyline continuation. Hopefully, it does. Until then, I'm Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video all over social media. I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT Review. Till then, I am Chris. Talk to you guys later.